If you've clicked on this video or you've come to my YouTube channel, you're probably out of options, out of solutions to your suffering. Maybe your depression, anxiety, whatever's going on in your life that is causing you suffering. So I want to give you the key to at least end your suffering, maybe not your problems. And the first key to that is to notice the thinking mind every time it arises, and notice if you're thinking an angry thought, a depressed thought, or a lonely thought, whatever negative feeling you're feeling. Notice how there's also a separate you that can watch that thought. And when you watch that thought, you catch it and you bring it back into the present moment. You stop yourself from continuing down the path of self-destruction, which is an endless cycle of misery for you. Thinking about the past is not going to change the past. Thinking about the future is not going to make the future better. So to bring yourself into the present moment is to recognize when the ego wants to try to take control, and it'll do this continually throughout the day, trying to drag you, pull you back into unconsciousness. And it is your job to catch it, to catch yourself every time you go unconscious. This also goes for whenever the ego wants to escape through your words, wants to interpret, judge certain circumstances around you. Here, let me back this up a little bit. When you judge, interpret things negatively or positively, you are affecting your vibration. So it's not even just about watching the thoughts and catching them. It's also about watching how you speak, watching how you interpret things throughout the day. And what you may notice is the second that you start to change, you start to shift your mindset, you start to stop complaining about things, you stop wishing things that were different than they are. You start to feel discomfort. You start to feel uncomfortable because your body is conditioned to think a certain way. And as soon as you say, I'm not going to think like that, I'm not going to do that anymore, your body's confused. Your body gets confused. But if you can push past the confusion of the body, what ultimately happens is the ego can die in that moment, and you're brought into a state of presence, a state of peace, a state of surrender, the letting go state. That is the letting go state. All the letting go state means is be in the present moment as much as you possibly can, and stop worrying about what happens in the future. Stop worrying about what happened in the past. You can't change it. There's nothing that you can do about the past. And there's nothing that you can do about the future. Either things will get better in the future or things will get worse in the future. Let's hope they don't get worse. But when whatever happens or whatever challenges arise in the future, you will be able to address them from a more conscious state if you learn how to detach from your mind, if you learn how to find the space between your thoughts. So, watching the thoughts is the same as noticing it as a delusion. It is noticing that you don't have to believe every time a thought arises that that's the ultimate truth, because it's not. So the only thing that can bring you to this understanding is your own suffering, is to be sick of suffering, is to say, I don't care what happens in this world anymore. I'm going to do my best to accept the challenges as they come while remaining neutral to those circumstances in my life. If I hadn't gone through everything that I went through, I would never be on this journey. So I could be really grateful for all of the challenges in that regard, because it brought me to this point. And I'm very, very grateful, because I never would have changed. So if you feel that way, but maybe you're still stuck and still trying to push forward, then just know that there is hope, that you can still do this, because you already are it. I'm just here to try to help you recognize the truth of who you really are, who you know you already are. Because you already are it. The ego doesn't exist, it's not real. The presence behind the ego, that's you. That's the real you. I really hope this video helps somebody. If it did, give me a big fat like. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.